Good morning, welcome to the latest edition of Mike's Missions and welcome to the beautiful market town of Bakewell in Derbyshire. Now, although Bakewell is a fabulous little town and it serves wonderful coffee, we're going elsewhere this morning. We're going a little bit further down the Wye Valley to discover a fabulous old building. If we went over the bridge here, the road would take us to Chatsworth House, but we're not going there today. We're heading in the opposite direction, down the Wye Valley. If you want help with your guess as to where we're heading today, I can give you a clue, but only a very small one. Someone thinks it's funny. No shortage of pubs here in Bakewell. Right then, just 2 miles down the road we've come to Haddon Hall. Medieval house, home of the Manners family, and the scene of many movies being made here. But this isn't where we're heading either. Welcome to Youlgreave, or should that be Youlgrave? Youlgrave again. Back to where we started here with Youlgrave. Another vote for Youlgrave there. Seems to be that the closer you get to the centre of the village, Youlgrave is the spelling. And here's yet another version, Youlgrave. And just as I thought I'd decided on Youlgrave, come to the very heart of the village, the parish church, and it's Youlgrave again. I suppose in this part of the village the vote should go to Youlgrave. So there's a lady here who lives in the village, and can you set my mind straight, is it Youlgrave or Youlgrave?
I say Youlgrave.
And most villagers would say that, would they?
I'm not saying, I don't know.
Don't know, all right. So how did the Doomsday Book name this village? Well, actually it called it Youlgrave. And it's obviously had a real identity problem, because some years ago a local researcher, Bill Shimwell, showed that the village's name has been spelt not 1, 2 or 3 different ways, but 60 different ways. And as if 60 different names for one little village were not enough, it also has its own nickname. Locals call it Pommy. The story goes that the co-op store in the village once bought a whole batch of instruments for local people to play and form a band. Unfortunately, hardly anyone could read music, let alone play an instrument, so all they could play was pom pom pompity pom as they went along on the march. Right, where better to get this settled than in the post office in the village, where Amy here, who I understand grew up in the village, can tell us how we pronounce it and how we spell it.
Youlgrave. Without the E.
Definitely Youlgrave.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there must be some confusion with...
There is a lot of confusion with the signs saying one end of the village with the E and
Yeah.
at the other end without the E. It does
Yeah.
make people wonder.
And I've noticed up near New Haven there's a sign with 2 E's in there.
Oh, is there?
Youlgrave, yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I've not seen that one.
Yeah. And I understand the village has a nickname. Is it...
That's correct, yes.
And what's that?
Pommy.
And how do you think that came about?
Well, I'm led to believe it came about through a very, very famous silver band that was in the village.
Yeah.
And when they played through the village, it was a tradition for people to have pigs on their walls.
Oh, pigs.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Like pot pigs on their walls.
Ah,
Yeah.
another curiosity of the village.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks
Yeah.
ever so much.
No problem
And,
at all. Anytime.
I'll continue my walk through Youlgreave or
Okay.
Youlgrave.
Yeah.
Thank you. So this is a Derbyshire Hall we've come to see today. It's not as grand as Haddon Hall or Chatsworth House, but this one is a listed building and it has a Guinness World Record certificate. This is Thimble Hall in Youlgrave, and it's listed as the world's smallest detached house. It's 11 feet 10 inches by 10 foot 3 inches, one up, one down, with a ladder to get up to the top floor. Now I remember just before the turn of the millennium, this building was on sale at auction, and I think the expected hammer price was between £10,000 and £15,000 because of its size, but it was actually sold for £39,500, which inch by inch made it as pricey as any property in Knightsbridge. So when Thimble Hall was built in 1756, it was made out of limestone rubble, all the stone that wasn't wanted elsewhere. And now Historic England have it listed because of its special architectural and historical interest. Once upon a time, a family of 8 lived in here. There's a big hole here in the door, so let's see what we can find inside. Ooh, very grim in there. No, Chatsworth House it ain't. Now, when Thimble Hall was bought in 1999, oh, a bird joining us there. When it was bought in 1999, the plan was to turn it into an ice cream parlour. And then there was talk of it becoming a museum for thimbles, of course. And then I think they looked at turning it into accommodation, but Bijou wouldn't really describe it, would it? It's absolutely tiny. No facilities whatsoever, no water, of course, no electricity. And that's Thimble Hall. Now, when Mike's Missions visited the village of Hathersage recently, we came up with 3 surprising stories about the place. So we can't let Youlgrave be outdone by that. So here's another couple of fascinating facts about this lovely little village. Now, this unusual construction in the heart of the village nowadays acts as an unnecessary roundabout, but for centuries it's had a vital role for villagers. Now, not only did most families get their water supply from here, they also used this spot to do all the family's washing. There's a little bowl here, look. Youlgrave Waterworks was one of the very few private water companies in Britain, and water from a nearby spring was collected in here for distribution to villagers. One of the village's most notable residents had something to do with water too. Now, you remember years ago when we all used to buy boxes of matches, and one of the most famous brands was Captain Webb, the first man to swim across the channel. Well, the second man to swim across the channel was a guy called Bill Burgess, who lived in Youlgrave at the time, and he completed the swim in 1911. This unusual building in the village used to be the co-op, and then it was taken over by the Youth Hostel Association, who are still there, but also downstairs is a lovely bakery, cafe and bistro and bookshop. So what have we learnt about today's Mike's mission to the village of Youlgrave in Derbyshire? Well, first of all, our main reason for coming here was to visit the wonderful little Thimble Hall, which we have done. Sad to see it's still derelict inside. We've also learnt about the village water supply. We've also found the definitive spelling of Youlgrave. I've just had a final thought to try and end the confusion over this village's name. Now this is the river that runs alongside the village. So is it the river Youlgreave, the river Youlgrave, or the river Youlgrave? Well, actually it's none of the above. It's the River Bradford. Thanks for joining me on this special mission today. I hope you've enjoyed coming along, and please subscribe, and I'll be out and about again in the near future. Thank you.